Thought leadership is additive, newsworthy, and educational. It teaches your audience something that they didn't know. It challenges the status quo, and it helps your audience achieve a goal or get better at something that they really care about. It's built on your expertise, but it isn't about you. It unveils opportunities for your customers, but it's not transactional. And that is why it builds trust and why it's such a powerful tool in your go-to-market strategy and in your product strategy when you do it well. So how does thought leadership contrast with other types of content? The first is transactional. This is product or salesy content. The second is educational. And the third bucket is thought leadership. In that transactional sales, like heavily product-focused content, your expectation is often immediate ROI. This content is pretty ineffective in terms of persuading. The other challenge with this kind of content is it can be very generic. If you are relying on content farms or if you're relying on AI, it's safe to say this is the kind of content where machines are talking to machines. You might be able to produce it in great quantity, but your target audience is going to be using AI and other tools to sift through this. This is also the kind of content that is very clearly already being weeded out by Google. The second type is educational content. This kind of content may or may not be commoditized. For example, in financial services or healthcare, I think this is a very common and useful type of content. But at the same time, it is usually not unique to your organization. Quality and accuracy are really important in educational content, but it doesn't need necessarily to be novel. It can still be really valuable. One example of this is in a prior life, I led marketing at a financial services entity. And the primary strategy for growth was to build robust educational content. There was a ton of demand for honest, accurate, and informative information about interest rates and loan terms. We could really see the ROI and the value in our pipeline and in revenue to the business. So this was a great strategy. If you're in a market like this, educational content makes a lot of sense. The type of content that we're talking about today, though, and the type of strategy is actually about thought leadership. Thought leadership changes mindsets, and it's also building trust. It's also unique to you. It really shows differentiated value because it's tied to your expertise. That makes it hard to copy, and it's also the opposite of commoditized, which is why I think thought leadership is the strategy to choose.